Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Danny J. Quick. Welcome to another episode of Super Shorts, where we tell superhero short stories. That's the long and short of it. That's basically what we do here. We're a group of writers, and we spent time last year and this year honing our skills as writers by writing extremely short stories about our superheroes. And the only real rule was that we wanted to keep it under 1,000 words. And right now what we're doing is just putting them out for you all to enjoy. We got over 1,500 reads on an app that we put them out called Wattpad. And we just wanted to extend that to many more people so they can enjoy our stories and give us good feedback on what we got going on. Last week we did The Fighter, a short story that I wrote about Aceblade, and this week we're gonna do I'm gonna do one introducing a villain called Rhewlette. Aceblade is also in this story. It's about him versus Rhewlette, and I hope you enjoy it. Cold Hands, Warm Heart, an extremely short story by me, Danny J. Quick, for the Fourth Wall Universe. I don't have time for your sanctimonious platitudes, Aceblade. Rhewlette shouts as she throws one of her cold bombs at the Vigilante. Aceblade dodges to his left but slips to the ground clumsily as his right foot slips on the frost-laden concrete. Aceblade crashes to the ground but manages to grab the front bumper of a car parked along the street, preventing him from sliding into the crowd of watching tourists along the storefront. The alarms continue to blare as Rhewlette's cold bomb splatters on the ground like a water balloon, spreading a viral frost on everything it touches. Scattered screeches scar the scene under a blanket of bright bouncing blinkers. Aceblade surveys the scene to make sure no one was touched by the killer frost. Rhewlette grabs her sack of gold coins, attaches it to her belt, and makes a break for it. From her kneeling position, she turns on the ice easily and sprints in the other direction like an Olympic runner. Hasta luego, Aceblade. Her speed is incredible, and her footing is unaffected by the smooth and jagged ice scattered around the landscape. She leaps over Aceblade's motorcycle easily, grabbing the handle and toppling it over as she tries to make her escape. Aceblade tries to stand but slips on the smooth ice underneath his feet. As Rhewlette creates more distance down the Vegas City Strip, Aceblade slides his feet inch by inch like an adolescent trying to learn how to skate. The crowd begins to cheer as Aceblade reaches stable footing and races towards the chopper, lifting it up off the ground and cranking the engine in one motion. The slick ice is no match for the chopper's thick, ridged tires. He quickly locates and closes the gap in between him and Rhewlette. Her glowing, blue pulsating gauntlets stick out in the evening light like a bad April Fool's joke. She turns into a side street, but Aceblade rips the corner right behind her. "I got you!" Rhewlette screams as Aceblade rounds the corner and she springs her trap. The icy torrent pours from her golden-plated gloves. The ice grips the front wheel of the chopper and it bucks like a rodeo bull, sending Aceblade soaring through the air. The Vegas Vigilante flips in midair like a cat falling from a tree, kicks one foot against the wall, and forces his body towards Rhewlette before she can react. The sheer force of the tackle will be enough to make lumberjacks proud. Aceblade collides with Rhewlette. As they fall to the ground, Aceblade grips her right wrist and twists it so that her pulsating gloves can't make him into a popsicle. A loud moan erupts from Rhewlette as Aceblade presses his right knee into her ribs, causing her to arc her back in defense. Aceblade forces her gloved hand up under her torso while maintaining control of her other hand with his. He can feel the cold metal implants that are covering her spine pressing down on his hand in between her back and his, which is clenching her wrist as she lay on the empty alleyway street. "You're supposed to be one of the good ones, Anabel." Aceblade grunts as he straddles her waist and forces her arms to the ground in frustration. Rhewlette turns her face to the left, not even wanting to face the masked Vigilante. "You could have done some real good in this city, and now look at you." Aceblade quickly shifts to one knee and jerks her body, hoisting it up onto his shoulder in one motion, all while maintaining control of her arms as to not put himself in the line of fire. Aceblade grabs both of her wrists with one hand and reaches into a pocket on his belt for restraints before sitting that middle-aged woman down on his bike, which is frozen into place. "I'm taking you to jail this time," Aceblade says through clenched teeth as he yanks the connective tubing between Rhewlette's gloves and restrains her hands in front of her. Rhewlette finally looks at Aceblade with a scowl that could melt butter. His mixed countenance is filled with disappointment and frustration. Her brown eyes and furrowed brow grab Aceblade's attention as he shouts, "Do you got something you want to say to me?" Aceblade slams his fist down against the seat of his motorcycle just behind Rhewlette, but she doesn't flinch. Her frustration matches his anger as her nostrils flare and her lips furl and quiver. "You honestly think you helping, don't you?" Rhewlette finally breaks her silence and presses her freckled forehead up against Aceblade's chin. She tries to push his head away from her with her head, but he matches her force with his own. "You'll stop me, but you won't do anything about these fat cats feeding off the people you act like you're protecting." "I'm killing myself out here, Rue." Aceblade flexes his muscle and shouts. Rhewlette huffs and turns her head away from Aceblade, physically upset at his willful ignorance. "You could be helping me, but nah, you want to be some fake Robin Hood." Aceblade finally relaxes a bit and softens his tone. "The tourists come and go. You know as well as anyone that there are people here who have sold their souls for this crap." Aceblade passionately pleads as he rips a sack of gold coins from Rhewlette's waist and discards it against the wall behind him. The clanging coins scatter all over the alleyway as Aceblade continues. "Riddle me this, Rhewlette. How many times have you given this money that you risk your life for away, only to see that person right back in a casino a week later, or trying to make some kind of deal with Gutshot?" Aceblade tilts his neck a little to attempt eye contact with Rhewlette, and his tone shifts to a soft plea. Her big brown eyes meet his goggles as the look of frustration starts to melt away. He continues, "We have to prove to people that it's possible to live better. The only way they can be sure is to see it in us." "So I guess it's the part where we kiss and make up?" Rhewlette says sarcastically as she acts like his soliloquy didn't affect her. Aceblade breathes deeply and then turns to speak into the receiver hidden inside of his mask. "Are you there?" Aceblade says out loud to Lady Luck, who is back at the base monitoring his mission and serving as his guardian angel. "You tried," she replies as Aceblade grabs the restraints and ties them to a dumpster along the side of the building. "There is no try. Contact Officer Kirk with her location. I'm not waiting around here." Aceblade kicks at the ice that has snared his front wheel. He manages to get the wheel free and hops onto the chopper without even looking back at Rhewlette. He has other business to attend to tonight. Hey, thank y'all for checking us out. Again, you know, these are just short stories that we wanted to write. We really just started doing it to keep our skills sharp. To keep our skills sharp. And you know, we went back and started looking over all of these little short stories that we did and thought, you know, why not make it into a podcast? You know, so we hope that you enjoyed it. We're thinking about expanding a little bit later on once we get all ours out to bring on other writers and other creators to tell stories about their characters or to tell stories about our characters. I think that would be pretty cool. So tell us what you think, man. If you like Aceblade, if you like Rhewlette, I'm thinking about getting some art done of her. I got one or two pieces done that I'll put up and along with the episode. But there's also a mini comic that we did of this exact short story, and I'll put up the links to that so you can check it out too. Well, that's been it for us this week. Make sure you check us out next week. I think Morgan is going to be doing a story about the preacher, who's a character that I severely hate. One of the villains that he's created, and I'm looking forward to hearing his interpretation of it. It should be very animated. So we're going to be in Georgia this weekend at the Atlanta Sci-Fi and Fantasy Con, and hopefully we'll see some of y'all out there. But as always, until next time, stay vigilant, my friends. I'm out.